Hey guys, welcome to episode number 5 of Web3 Node Operators. I am delighted to have Altbro and Cyber OB1 from Bro and Bro with me here today. Guys, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up? We good?
Great.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure is all on my end. Altbro, let's kick this off by talking a little bit about yourself and Cyber OB1. Who are you guys and what do you do?
Well, actually, we are the founders of the Bro and Bro project. We run validator in a Cosmos ecosystems and different projects in Cosmos ecosystem. We develop some stuff. Probably it.
Do you have any technical background in your history?
Sure. I was kind of working with a cyber project and still helping them. We have a background in launching stuff, launching chains, maintaining. All kind of a background, and of course some technical education. Like how did we came to the sphere at all?
Gotcha. Can you tell us a little bit more about the background story of Bro and Bro? So how did you guys, end up founding, Bro and Bro, and how did you get to the place where you're now?
Well, the idea of running the validator was in the air when we decided to finally do this, because we were in crypto for couple 3-4 years already. And we, as I mentioned, had an experience launching project and dealing with all this with Cosmos chains and stuff. So we just kind of decided. It was a day when Osmosis launched. We were sitting chilling, drinking beer and making barbecue with our another bro. And decided, why shouldn't we start the validator? Hey, it seems like a DEX finally, a cool project. The movement starts, and we just decided, hey, let's go on and let's go on and validate it. It was a drop. They distributed a drop. It was very easily to hop on the chain. You had the tokens immediately. So that's basically how it started. like a fun project.
I think the launch of Osmosis was the start of the journey for many people in the Cosmos ecosystem. I remember this day quite vividly when there were, I think, 3,000 or 4,000 percentage points in APR on the first atom in Osmo pools. So this was a crazy time. I remember that. You guys sure too.
Yeah, exactly.
So you talked about barbecue with a couple of bros. Who else is on the team?
We have another guy, the bro, who's a founder. So there's 3 of us in our foundation a little. Also, we have 4 people in a team to develop, design, promote, and maintain the stuff. So it's a 7 people total.
That's a reasonable size for a validator. Nice to see. So you talked about you started your journey in the Cosmos ecosystem by validating Osmosis. How did things develop from that point? And I think Osmosis was 2 years ago. So a lot of things might have happened at that time.
Yeah. Actually, I could say that since the start of Osmosis, there are so many chains started, so many new projects. Junos, Stargaze, Avmos later, Gravity Bridge, all kind of stuff. You all guys know that. But they was just coming one by one and distributing some gifts and stuff. So we just didn't want to miss opportunity probably to be the part of this big movement. And further, it just developed into some vision that we would like to change stuff and make stuff in our own way, or show the people how we think the stuff should be made, or educate them somehow, and so on.
What do you mean with doing things your way? Can you explain a little bit?
No, just generally behave within the ecosystem. react to the governance proposals, to new developments, to some sort of troubles, to upgrades, that kind of stuff.
Do you think there is a lack of, let's say, friendly discourse when it comes to governance proposals?
Friendly discourse?
A lack of.
I don't think so. I mean, there is a bunch of different, like a variety of different people in the ecosystem, and there's always will be like a conditions. Somebody wants that, somebody wants that. There is always like underneath manipulation with these delegations and foundations and stuff. So I mean, it's normal, but for now, I'm kind of it's good that we have a different opportunity opinions in a ecosystem. So I can say so. I can agree with you.
Yeah. Let's go back to what you do as a validator. So what chains are you currently validating on?
Okay, so currently we have like 12, as far as I remember, chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 12 chains. It's Evmos, Juno, Stargaze, Cosmos Hub, Osmosis, of course, Desmos, Crescent, Bostrom, Gravity Bridge, Stride, Omniflix, and eMoney.
This question might be a little bit tricky. Do you have faith in all of the projects you're validating?
Yeah, we kind of decided to support by validation only the projects we have a passion in. So yeah, the question will be yes.
It's a trick question. It's the only answer you are allowed to give here.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways, there's a lot of discussion recently about centralization of cloud computing, especially by very cheap and convenient providers like Hetzner. How do you think about the issue?
That's the issue. That's definitely the issue. We and I personally working and using the Hetzner, as you mentioned, for like a really long time, and the way they develop, it definitely going wrong. And I see some like underneath game, some like somebody's trying to convince them behave in this way. But I mean, they had a laws there, like they're like all illegal, so it's kind of a pretty easy if somebody some of the big daddies don't like the stuff in particular country, it's kind of easy to manipulate the company in this way. But I can only say that it's good for us from this side that with the new kind of tricky news appearing from Hetzner, like Solana validators shut off one day, and like their tweets that all crypto should not be should be banned on their facilities and stuff. They only brings us to us as a validators, as people in crypto, in Web3, brings us to the understanding that we should rely on own stuff, on own hardware, on own connections. So, I mean, Esther is good, and it's certainly, and not only Hensler, there's a bunch of other cloud providers that hold a lot of stuff, crypto stuff, and kind of from Cosmos ecosystem in particular. It's good, but I mean, it was like a good step, and I guess now it's everybody realizing that there's time to go up and develop their own stuff in this term.
So did I get this correct that you at Bro and Bro, you run your own infrastructure? So you run bare metal?
We can really say that we 100% on it, but since the autumn of 22, we started our transition to own hardware, and currently I would say like 50-50. we start. We buying the servers, buying the stuff, the memory, the drives, trying to like settle up somewhere locally to have backup with the electricity and internet and stuff, and running securely and with the same time independently without some like somebody's decisions on what should we run on it or not. So yeah, kind of a we moving into this way hardly. It's kind of a those times currently on the market. It's not like a super support this movement because hardware is expensive and the drives is expensive. Everything is like moving to own infrastructure is very expensive, but we're pushing hard into this aim.
That's a very good answer. I like that. And it shouldn't be understated how complex it is to run secure and reliable infrastructure with high uptime, because there is power outages, there's internet outages, and then you're in trouble. So there's a lot of things you need to keep in mind when running your own infrastructure, especially if you have tens of millions of stake on your validator. And then even a slash by just 0.1% can burn hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's a very critical thing to do and very complex.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Albert, let's switch gears and talk about governance. We just touched it a little bit earlier, but let's dig into it more here. What do you think about on-chain governance in its current form in the ecosystem right now?
I guess it's like on the same page as I mentioned about the cloud providers, that it need to be like updated. There's time to go further with it. I mean, with the upgrade of the governance module and a whole governance system. But I mean, it's happening. The governance, the proposals comes and pass, and decisions being made, and tokens being distributed and stuff. So I mean, kind of we are where we are, but we realize that it's time to upgrade this thing a little.
What do you mean with upgrade? Can you give us a specific example of things you would like to change or see different?
Well, yeah, probably the most basic things I think is the kind of emergency proposals to make to deploy the chain patches on the fly, not in the way that it's currently being how it's currently happen. When there's something like security or ultra important security patch, the chain is being just halted with I mean, decision being made in Discord or somewhere in Telegram or between the validators. But that's definitely need to be upgraded and improved and implemented at all into governance module. Also, the stuff related to the spamming and spam proposals and all this stuff. There's a bunch of stuff to sit, think, and rethink and upgrade, redevelop.
I agree, especially with your point on the emergency proposals. So I remember back in the days where Terra collapsed, it just showed that sometimes you need quick decisions. You can't put up a proposal and wait another week. This is good for, general upgrades of the chain or, macro decisions. But if there's, danger ahead, you need to react quickly. So I could see, and maybe even confidential, and I could see some, improvement to governance being made where validators get an encrypted proposal that only validators can decrypt for security reasons and can then vote within 24 hours. So that would solve the backdoor mingling and put things on chain, while simultaneously make things more quicker. But I think you're right, on-chain governance, especially in the Cosmos SDK, there's not enough work being done on that front. So other smart contract governance systems like DAO or enterprise, they move much quicker and have much more sophisticated governance modules.
Yep, that's true.
So let's talk about how you guys vote on proposals. So validators, they not only are they a revenue source or yield source for users delegating to you, but also you represent their opinions on a lot of different chains, 12 chains. And how do you decide what to vote? What are your metrics? What's important to you when voting?
Well, I guess that's the part where our vision comes into game, because we like usually discuss within our team, within our foundation, the most important stuff. What do we think? How it should develop? Is it good or not? Is it spam or not? And so on. So, I mean, it's mostly like it's hard to tell in common, but like sometimes we do try to collect the opinions from our community, from our delegators, but it's kind of a hard to rely on that because we don't really have any on-chain ways to do that, uh, to actually ask our to be sure that the people replying to our opinion collect posts and polls, that those people are real delegators. There's no way to do this like on chain somehow. No, so we just kind of post in Twitter, sometimes post in our Telegram chats and groups and stuff, but mostly do our decisions within our foundation and team.
Mm-hmm. Yes, makes sense. And it's also important to keep in mind that even if you disagree with your validator on a specific vote, you can always override that decision. So that's something,
Yeah, sure.
I think a lot of people would have liked to see something like this in real world governance. But
Yeah, I'm thinking about it all the time. That it could be even in this way we have it. We can still complaining a lot that our governance is not like ideal and we need to upgrade it and stuff. But even if we can like implement the current version of the governance system into the real world somewhere, into the real stuff, that could be yeah, that could be much better. It could be a big improvement.
yeah, and I think there are a lot of people, across the globe that could use a little bit more of transparent and corruption resistant voting systems. So I totally agree with you on that. So let's close off the talks about on-chain governance and focus a little bit more about bro and bro again. So besides voting, running 50-50 bare metal infrastructure, what are you guys contributing to the ecosystem, and why should people care about you?
Well, we have a bunch of an apps and then kind of a projects we're trying to maintain and develop. When we started the validator, I mean, a little bit after we started the validator, we started to think on why should people like choose us among the rest of the validators? Why should we be delegated by them? We decided like to try to make ourselves and our validator useful. It started from the statistical boards we made and continue making of some Telegram and Discord bots, and kind of the personal moderating in the community somewhere. And further, it developed into the certain applications, our app Brown Bro IO. We try to make it like an all-in-one place for maintaining your account inside of a Cosmos ecosystem from the perspective of delegating rewards and stuff. We implemented our rating. It's score Bro and Bro.io. It's our vision on what are the rest of the validators is, how to determine who's good or who's not. Try to implement our vision on like something different than just being separated by who has the biggest stake, the smallest stake. currently we trying to improve our boards into something like bigger, developing the indexer to collect the data, because the chains is growing, and it's like the huge, the nodes respond slow, so it's kind of with every new block, it's being more and more harder to develop the stuff, because I mean you cannot rely on API to if you connect it directly, like so your application to the node, it could be slow, it could fall off, it could whatever. So that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's quite a lot for 7 people, especially the indexing. So that's really, I want to highlight that it's a tough work. Indexing blockchains, you need archive nodes, and it's a lot of work to use a good indexer or to build a good indexer and get useful data out of it. So that's just nasty stuff. So I know this from experience. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that
and
work.
there's actually not so many indexers open sourcely available in an ecosystem. Yeah, we only knew the Juno and BD Juno, supported by Forbol currently, and that's it. if you don't know, you can tell me. I know that there's teams that definitely have an indexers, but they do or run them closed source and develop them closed source. For sure, Cosmos Station have some. For sure, P2P has some, and then some others.
Yep,
but we definitely see it's like with the governance module, but we kind of just had a bit more experience indexing the stuff and developing the apps on top of the Cosmos SDK chain. That's basically that's why basically we decided to hop into some development in this side. I mean, into index development.
Makes totally sense. And I think there's also a large opportunity to make something as indexing as a service, where projects that want to build a cool application they just need the data, but they don't want to run archive nodes or deal with the indexing themselves. They want to write the smart contracts, build a cool front end, and then get volume, APR, or whatever from a third party. So I think there's good opportunity for people like you to position yourself in this market.
Yep.
That being said, what are your plans for the next, let's say, 12 to 24 months?
First of all, our main plan is to develop ourselves, to develop our goals, our apps that we currently have. The indexer part, there's the huge deal to develop, move completely to own hardware, to cut off this bound to providers. That's what we're gonna do for definitely we'll complete in this following 12 or 24 months. I mean, it's just there's probably a few announcements gonna come, like a bigger announcements gonna come from us, which I didn't want to cover now soon. But I mean,
can you tease a little bit of the alpha you're having at the back of your hands?
Well, it would be related to indexation. I mean, to indexer we're trying to develop. So you're probably gonna see it somewhere.
I'm sure I will. I'm sure.
Yep.
All right, Altbro. So our interview is coming to an end. Is there anything left you want to share with us?
Well, just saying, I don't know. I can only try to enhance people come and look at the stuff and try to bring their hands into not only just simply trust everybody or somebody's telling. Come, look, see the code, see how the things are made, see how behave underneath. It's not that hard as it might look from the top, but and there's a many people who trying to working hard to make this complicated first things a little bit simpler for average user who coming into crypto, who coming into ecosystem. So It's very common, but I'm not a marketing person, so it's kind of hard for me to promote some stuff. Exactly.
Well, I think those were very, very nice closing words. And Altbro and Cyber Obi-Wan, I'd like to thank you both guys for joining me on the show. I had a great pleasure of talking with you today. And yeah, I wish you all the best, and I'm keeping my eyes open for your announcements. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, David, as well, for
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
calling us.
Bye bye.
All right, bye.